So a few folks have been asking me a little bit about the Road King. My 2000 Road King Classic goes by the name of Duke. They said you've had it a couple years now. Got any regrets? Let's talk about it. Well, it has been about a year or so since I kind of did a little review on how my 2000 Road King Classic was doing. So I thought it was time, because a lot of you have been asking to learn a little bit more. Been a lot of new subscribers to the channel, so I appreciate you coming along the crazy journey, and I warned you. So out here in Michigan on a beautiful day, it is starting to get a little cooler, and I will tell you that it is a perfect day to talk about the regrets or possible regrets I had about my 2000 Road King Classic. And let me start off by telling a quick story. I had been looking for a Road King, an older Road King, for probably a year or so, and just did not find the right one or find the right deal. And I came along this guy that had, and I forgot where I found this guy. It was, I don't know if it was Cycle Trader or I don't know where it was, that had this bike for sale. And I think he had it on sale. I think he was looking for, I don't know, $4,500, something like that. 21,000 miles on it when I bought it. And I called the guy, said I was interested. It was, if I recall, like in February or March. So it was a little bit chilly. And I said to the guy, I said, hey, I have a four-wheeler. Would you be interested in doing some sort of trade maybe? And he's like, as a matter of fact, I may. So I'm like, huh, because I had a four-wheeler in my garage that I hardly ever use. So waited a couple days. It was Saturday morning. I loaded up my four-wheeler on my trailer, and I drove it to this guy's house and pulled it into the end of the street, walked up to his house. The guy came out. He says, let's take a look at the Road King. And he opened up the garage, and it was like that perfect woman. It was love at first sight. So I'm like, oh, okay, nice bike. And I took a couple looks at it, and my non-mechanic brain, you know, just anything leaking, does it look solid, how the tires look, you know, does it start up, you know, all those basic things. And of course I knew there was some risk, and I said, okay, I like it. I think I want to kind of ride it up the road. Now it's freezing, and he goes, sure, let me take a look at the four-wheeler in the meantime. So back the four-wheeler out, his kid comes out. Come to find out, the guy lives off a lake, and he wanted a four-wheeler to pull an ice house out on the water in the wintertime. Now, I know there's a lot of folks that do that. I think y'all are crazy. So I rode up the street on the bike, and as soon as I fired this thing up and heard the roar, and this is it has a stage 1 on it, I was like, man, this is the bike. Guy comes back, looks at it, he goes, I'll tell you what. And I was so excited, I lost all negotiation skills at all. The guy says, I'll tell you what, I'll do your four-wheeler and $1,000 to the Road King. And I had a couple $1,000 in cash on me, and I'm like, let's roll. But let me tell you the potential regret that I had, because while I researched the bike and I realized the look is what I wanted, how it sounded, how it felt, the simplicity, the big headlight, I also knew that I probably needed to get it checked out. So I will tell you, it was a day or two when I got home. I'm on some forums, and I'm realizing that they have some potential inherent problems with cam tensioners. So I'm like, oh no, right? So I take it over to the one guy in town that'll work on it. He says, yeah, I'll take it apart, let me look at it. And so I'm like, am I really going to regret this? Do I have a problem, or am I going to have a problem with the motor or not? And I was concerned about it. So an ex-Harley tech he took it apart for me and gave me a call the next day. He says, "Hey, good news. Cam tensioners look really good. They really do." He goes, "Now, I would suggest that when you get about 30,000 miles, we should flip these things out, right?" And I said, "Okay." And he says, "Hey, well, I was in there. I just tuned it. It was running a little rough and changed the oil." And he actually said, "You know, you need to change the tires." And I think I've talked about this on another video. I had to put new tires on it because while the tires looked good to my eye, they were really, really dated. And so decided to put new beautiful white walls on Duke. So I was comfortable that now the regret of having the bike was at least minimized. Now, I continued to have worried about how much is it going to cost me to keep this thing maintained. Am I going to have problems with it? And the problems that I have had with this bike has been zero. This thing has always ran well. It's always started. It's always handled well for a bike that's really 24 years old. Obviously, I've changed the fluids in it, but it really has been no problems at all. And you know what? I got the bike for $1,000 in cash and a four-wheeler. So I feel like I stole it. And really, really have had no regrets other than why didn't I do this just a little bit earlier. So, no regrets, but let me tell you, and I probably talk and gush about this thing on every video if you follow my channel, that I just simply love about this motorcycle. And really it's two or three things that kind of stick out. There's a bunch of stuff. Is the simplicity of this bike is amazing to me. Now, I know, so they're gonna follow me. Understand, I have a phone connected today and doing a little trying to find a place today that I don't know exactly where it's at. So I thought I'd bring that along just before the map. And I threw this little thing on the bar just to have it. But just the simplicity of the motorcycle makes it so easy to ride, and just, I don't know, you feel, this may sound crazy, you feel like you're riding a motorcycle more than when you're riding even my 2024 Road Glide. You are in it, and it sounds awesome, but it just is ultimately so simplistic. You just put your feet up, and honestly, you just ride. I think the second thing that just really sticks out to me is I do love the look of the bike. You know, people ask me, why a Road King? Why not a Heritage? Why not, you know, a different bike? Why was it the Road King? And of course it's the overall look, but to be honest with you, it's that big headlight. I freaking love it. And there is something about that headlight. That's one of the reasons that most of the time I ride without a shield. I don't want anything in the way. I'll tell you what, it is just so appealing to me. I have a brand new, if you follow the channel you know this, but I have a brand new 2024 Road Glide that's a beautiful white onyx pearl. And if I am out, I get more comments on this motorcycle than I do my brand new bike. It looks great, it rides great, it sounds great, but it feels great. Do you have a motorcycle that just feels great for you? And if you have a newer one that feels great, I love mine. Tell me about it. And if you have an older one, if you have an older motorcycle, help me and others explain the draw and why people shouldn't be afraid to go get it. I really got this bike, I don't know, maybe $4,000 if you looked at my deal and what my quad was worth and the money out of pocket. Sure, it's a lot of money, but I'll tell you what, it's not 30 grand to buy a new one. And I get more enjoyment out of this thing than any bike that I've ever had, period. So all those folks that have been asking for it, there you have it. Hope that helped. Love to hear your reaction to not only Duke, my Road King, but what you do and what bike out of everything you've had really sticks out to you. Meanwhile, we're just going to come out on Duke, tear it up a little bit, and try to hit some good back roads here in the beautiful state of Michigan. Y'all be safe. Check in a friend. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Peace.
Like a Wolverine and lion. This is BoDean by my side.